right, ladies and gentlemen, the Twilight Zone is happening. We're coming to you from the past, but we are now in a different dimension. Things have changed. We're on a different timeline, apparently. That's how these things work with the eclipses.
Oh, yeah, dude, and they started the Hadron Collider at the same time, dude.
Yeah. CERN's putting up special lights.
No, they're CERN to change the timeline.
Should we be concerned?
I'm pretty sure we should. Every time they fire this thing up, shit gets weird. Have you read anything about that? Like what that whole thing is supposed to do and why they're?
That particle accelerator thing.
Yeah. Do you know any?
No.
I know dick all about particle accelerators.
I just know it creates wormholes to other dimensions. Apparently, according.
I thought they were just trying to capture the essence of Dale Earnhardt. You go as fast as possible. We're accelerating these particles. Those particles yell, "Raise hell, praise Dale," as they fucking collide.
Oh, yes, dude. Dale's going to rush against time, known as a wall.
It's pretty crazy that, like, particles are just doing NASCAR and changing the entire universe.
What's nuts is all the people that are putting out those, like, mini colliders or stuff and that speed up the ball. And they're like, it creates a portal. Watch, this ball disappears. It's great photography.
It disappears. Yeah, there's definitely not a thing where the human eye can't pick up on things once it reaches a certain speed. That definitely isn't a thing.
Hey, man.
It just disappears.
It just disappears. I can see in Mach 4.
Yeah. That's fucking so stupid. I have not seen those videos.
Oh, it's great.
My favorite thing is I was reading the article about CERN and what they're trying to study and why they're doing this during the eclipse, right?
Okay.
And let me see if I can find it. They basically want to see if they can find invisible particles.
Aliens. Oh.
Dude, they're trying to find God. They're trying to find universal particles by having this happen at the eclipse.
You guys, CERN's really concerned about ayahuasca. They're like, no, you need the collider. You can't take that.
Yeah. You can't do that, dude. I want to look this up because I had it. I had an article that explained it, and it made me laugh because I'm like, they're just trying to find God. Serter's research. What is it? What was the? I want to read exactly what it was. Invisible.
I want to know who created this. Like, what if we did things that involve car crashes, but on a molecular level?
Yeah. Scientists believe that a fraction of a second after the Big Bang that gave birth to the universe, an invisible energy field called Higgins field formed. As the particles pass through the field, they pick up mass, giving them the size and shape that allow them to form atoms and make up you. Everything about you and everything in the universe.
Fuck you, science dork. Your last name had to be Higgins? I made up a field and it's named after me.
It's actually just Higgs. I had it. I was thinking about T.J. Higgins or T. Higgins from Cincinnati. So I was like, Higgins.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm catching footballs and atoms. I play the field, dude. That's why it's Higgs Field. I'm catching these atoms.
Oh, man.
This
is a Levine. Throw it away.
They're called God particles.
So they literally are trying to capture God.
Yeah, so there's these invisible things. So during the eclipse, somehow they're going to help see that by doing that.
Yeah, and there's going to be one. So so they could do their hocus pocus. There's one person pouring gasoline with a lighter next to a bush.
Yeah. You know what's funny is we used to burn people like this at the stake who were doing stuff like this during the full moon or an eclipse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we're like, they're the smartest people in the world, but we used to kill them.
It's pretty cool that witches and warlocks can wear white lab coats, and they were like, you're respectable.
Dude, witches went through a serious rebranding, and we're like, how can we make people think we're smart and useful?
Good. You know what? We can add on 3 years of college, and that'll do it.
Yeah. All a biology book is just spells and combinations on how to make compounds.
Yeah, exactly.
If you combine these elements, they make meth.
Periodic table. That's basically their. What were those glasses called where you had to decode shit? They use the periodic table for that, though.
Yeah. I don't know. They're the. They're the Ben Franklin glasses from National Treasure. Like, I could see the combinations now. Nick Cage is going to solve the whole what is it? The Freemason puzzle during the eclipse.
If I mix iron and titanium phosphate, I get just a blast of energy.
Yes. Yeah, but I thought that was very interesting when I read that they're trying to find invisible energy fields. Basically, they're trying to find the God particles.
Or hear me out, they're going to find the 3 Saiyans that live on Earth, and they're going to fuck shit up.
Right.
We're going to have a world battle.
The whole concern is all the time they're always like, well, you guys keep doing these experiments, and it could end the world, and they're just like, yeah, but we want to fuck around so we can find out. And then people are like, yeah, I guess.
You think there's anybody left in the deep underground caverns of Mars going, they never learn?
Yeah, so that's what I was reading too, that's what's kind of interesting. So the collider, right?
Yeah.
Is a 17-mile long tunnel. So, it's way bigger than a NASCAR track. Still tracking with the NASCAR theme here.
I like this. And it only goes in the direction, so it always turns left.
You're right. And when I was reading the article earlier, it's built way underground.
Okay.
So, we're having particles.
Are you telling me we have mole people scientists?
That's what I was going to get to, dude. We got these root vegetable scientists just under there trying to recreate the Big Bang Theory.
I've been wondering why they've been growing carrots more. It's so they're easily reachable by these people.
Yeah. That's why it's funny when I hear conspiracy theorists talk about it. It's like, it's underground, like lizard people who are after us. I'm like, we were right about the underground part, technically. Why'd you add the lizard? They're just people underground doing really weird experiments.
Is this in Vegas, and that's what they're making all the homeless people do now?
Yeah. Dude, it's just weird to me that it has to be that far underground. They put it underground, and if it goes haywire, there's just going to be a giant hole opening up to Earth. And that's when people are like, they're trying to summon Satan. They're trying to bring him up from the core.
Oh, dude, how funny will it be if it produces a red light?
Oh, dude, it'd be crazy. Yeah, dude, people are going to
A hole opens up and red lights are just firing out like you're at a Three Doors Down concert. And you're like, oh, shit.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to see if I can remember how it's underground.
Is it deeper than the tunnels Tesla's building in Vegas for their cars?
Probably. I would assume so. Is this the one I was looking at the other day? No. I don't know. I should have just kept open the ones I was looking at the other day because it had some interesting. But I was like, that's funny that they're trying to find the God particle, I thought.
Yeah, they're trying to find the God. You know what's funny is nobody's thinking about this. Well, wouldn't the God particle be up higher? Like, they're going down lower? Like, we didn't say which God.
Right. No, well, that's a lot of the Christians' concerns. There's a lot of people bringing up that whole thing. They're like, why do they have to do it underground? God is above us and all around us. Technically, God would be underground, too. He's around all of us. It's not like there's a magnetic field where, like, Satan's, like, using the earth crust to be like, God can't penetrate this.
It's rock hard.
Yeah.
No, the
Earth's hot lava god. You can't touch it. Satan and God are just constantly playing hot lava. Can't touch it.
Satan's like, I have it locked down from east to west. It's flat, so you can't go around.
Yeah. I just think people are loving this thing. I guess like people are just migrating in the masses to try to like go be in the direction or the line of this to go see it.
Oh, it is so funny the fact that Austin, Texas flat out said, don't come here. We are not accepting tourists. They declared a state of emergency.
No way.
Yeah.
They told people no.
Yep. So they're denying
the whole
people.
city, that whole identity is built on being weird. It's like, no, we don't want any more weirdos.
Yes.
Joe Rogan brought too many of them.
Him and his gang came down here with the red sashes, and now we have to bring out old Wyatt Earp to thin out the herd.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe Rogan fucking brought his whole podcast cult down to Austin. They're like, there's too many fucking weirdos down here now.
Enough about aliens.
Got a thing called the mothership. There's a fucking eclipse happening. Why is this all happening? Because he brought Joe Rogan.
Yeah, just conspiracy city.
Yeah,
It's been renamed.
It is. Well, wasn't it back in the day? Like, Austin has a lot of conspiracies. I remember one of the first, like, before Alex Jones went, like, super crazy and had his whole... There was one conspiracy he was always pitching about how the University of Texas has, like, some kind of crazy underground lab underneath the football field and shit. He said there was a bunch of weird shit going on at UT.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so like there's always been these weird stuff around Austin, I guess. So
yeah,
I didn't know Austin was stopping them though. There's like no more tourists, huh?
I guess not.
How can you stop tourists though? Like if I guess the hotels and stuff are full, whatever. But like, how are you going to stop people from coming to your city? They can't even stop people from coming through the border down in Texas. You can stop Americans from coming.
You put into effect the stand your ground law on the city outskirts.
Oh, gotcha. Dude, I think Texas is just really gearing up to try to keep people out of there. They're eventually just like, the whole thing, perimeter.
You think there's a guy down there just rubbing his hands a bit together and be like, all right, phase 1's complete. What are you doing? We're getting ready for the war. First we're going to have a civil war in Texas to get rid of these freaks we invited.
Yeah. We're going to liberate Austin, and then we're going to go, and then we're getting ready for the real one.
It's... Liberty or justice for Texas.
All I know is fence salesmen down in Texas are making a fucking fortune right now.
I've heard, now correct me if you haven't heard this, but I've heard they've reached out to the constructors of Fenway Park and be like, how did you build that green monster?
Yeah, can you, how is that built? You know, like, and like, you guys still put in like that area, you know, you did that cool thing with the scoreboard where you still can open up the little hatches. Like,
yeah, can we do that but facing the outside?
Yeah. And can we put like maybe are those holes big enough for like a cannon per se? I don't know. That's just I like to measure things in cannons.
Yeah. I'd like to mount some heavy duty artillery. I mean, things on the top.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a ton of people just heading that way. Is it like basically going right through Austin? Is that why for some reason?
Yeah, that's over the pure zone.
Okay.
Or
like,
the
100%.
No, I think it's like 70 or 80 here. Like that's a total eclipse down there. A total eclipse of the heart, if you will.
Oh, listen to your heart.
If someone doesn't blare that while that's happening, total misfire.
Holding a boombox up. Yeah. I love you, universe. We were meant to be, galaxy. Take me away. That's the one person who actually gets lifted up by like God and floats into space.
No, he falls down into the CERN machine while it's glowing red. The hole opens up and swallows him.
Oh man, yeah, that's probably what'll happen. That's yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool to see. I guess I'm not gonna. You can't look directly into an eclipse, right?
No, and it's so funny because I've been hearing all this. You know, if you point your phone directly at the solar eclipse, it'll ruin your phone. It's like, nah, it'll fuck up your camera, not your phone.
Right? Maybe, I don't know.
I love how they treat it like you're taking a photo of an A-list celebrity that has an entourage that's going to break your phone.
Yeah. The solar eclipse has reflective clothing that fucking ruins all flash photography.
It's all tinfoiled up.
Yeah, don't worry, Nathan. After this eclipse, though, they're going to improve satellite technology. Because did you see what NASA's doing during their experiment of the...
Yeah, I saw it. They're LeBron Jamesing the thing with rockets. Not one, not two, but 3 rockets.
But 3 rockets, yeah. They're Caitlin Clark in this from the fucking mid-court.
Deep.
Just deep.
And don't worry, these are NIL funded. Let's go.
Yeah. They're like supposedly measuring like the radiation that's happening
in the
45 minutes prior, or 45 minutes before, during, and then 45 minutes after.
You mentioned the way the Christians were feeling about something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they've caught on to what they've named this.
Oh, have they? They named the NASA experiment?
Yeah, it's called the Rock.
Operation Shoot God. Operation JFK God.
Operation Wounded God. No, it's called the Ra Project. Ra, and it's very specifically called that because that is the god of darkness in Egypt.
Oh, Ra. Okay, gotcha. Man, why do scientists are really fucking nerds?
They're all dorks.
They name shit, and they're like, we need to use ancient Mesopotamian names in order to name our projects. They're fucking dorks.
This is the okay. Well, we used the Alexander Project last month. We better go with some Egyptian gods.
I got some Egyptian guys. Hey guys, what about Ra?
You think there was a fight over it?
I want to use Set.
Yeah. I voted for Exodia, but they said no. Maybe next time if we fire 5 rockets, we can call it that, since Exodia takes 5 cards to build anyway.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That's hilarious. I didn't know they named it Raw.
Oh, it should be a
It's no
Cyrus.
I know they probably don't care, and they just think it's a cool name, and they're probably not thinking. But at a certain point, I do think they're trying to piss Christians off.
100%. I'm like, they're using it correctly too. It's the god of darkness. I'm like, and you're gonna fire it into the dark side of the moon, which is hilarious because they're listening to Pink Floyd while they do this.
Right, or they're watching the Transformers movie.
Oh,
What I've done.
yes.
Yeah. That is. Yeah. I don't know. I have no desire to see the eclipse. I guess. I guess it's cool, but is it? I don't know. Is it that? I don't know why it's such a big deal.
And this is my thing. Everybody goes, we've evolved so much. We've evolved, and I go, you are joining a crowd of people that have literally done the same thing for thousands of years, which is, oh my God, this is happening. I need to go outside and stare at this marvelous thing. It's like, fucking sun and the moon
I need to stare.
align.
Yeah, I need to stare at this and also contemplate if this is actually the world ending. Because that we've evolved so much, but there's still a giant subset of people who are like, the world is going to end when this happens.
And that is what leads me to firmly believe that there is some form of reincarnation that actually occurs in people because that fucking seed won't go away.
Right. Every time I hear people start yelling about the end of the world, like I just picture them as the priest from Little Nicky when it's what's his name, Tarantino.
Oh,
he's like, oh my God, the devil, he walks among us. Like, that's just all I picture is fucking wide-eyed Tarantino, fucking like fucking wigging out.
But it's nuts that happens every time, and nobody ever goes, it's just a fucking eclipse.
Right. It's, and I will say it is crazy. It is cool that for some reason, like, things line up as well as they do within the universe and in the galaxy. Like, as space just vastly keeps getting bigger, right? It's
to infinity and beyond.
Yeah.
Space Ranger.
Yeah. I am a space ranger. But as it is crazy that things line up. Like, it's crazy that at one point every time, like, the planets all line up after a certain point.
Yeah.
It is wild that this whole thing, supposedly created out of complete randomness, has somehow created an order. I'll give you that.
It's almost
but
like
it is
it's on
weird
a
how
clock.
People, yeah, and it's always smart people. It's always people who are like, "Oh, we're evolved. We need to get past these childish things and this and that." But then, like, this happens,
they're out there
just
hucking.
like,
Dude, it comes up, and all of a sudden they're like, we need to get past this. The second it gets 3 weeks before, like, everybody buy your cool shades. Look at me. I can stare at the sun all day.
Yeah, capitalism. Buy our shit.
It's a Huygen.
Yeah. Yeah, you just know, you see how people react to this. And it's funny. It's the same people who react the way, like, an earthquake happened. Like, it's always funny, like, smart sophisticated people think that, oh, I'm above this and that, and I'm better than you, and this and that, and then shit like this that's like naturally occurring that you have zero control over, and you watch them revert back to being like, I'm such a bitch. Oh my god.
Well, you see, what happens is offshore accounts have loaded the banks with so much money they're actually now drilling in sideways and they're fracking, and that's how you get earthquakes in New Jersey. So like,
It's so true.
It's nuts
Oh,
though
go
what's going to happen with all those because they're saying they're like doing measurements and shit. But the funny thing is they're going to come back and be like, oh, it was indiscernible evidence. We don't really know what we did, but we launched 3 rockets. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we used up 3/4 of our budget for the year already. We're pretty excited about that. That means we could be on track to increase our funding for next year.
We were allocated 4 rockets this year, so we used 3 right away.
Listen, we're going to be able to increase our budget next year so nicely because we already blew most of it.
Yeah. We're already lobbying pretty hard with the vice president because the president doesn't know anything.
Yeah, and she doesn't either, let me tell you.
We're pulling the rug right out from under her.
Yeah, ladies love to just put it on the credit card. You know what I mean, fellas? Women be shopping.
Yeah, dude. We sent we sent in our itemized deduction list and what's needed for next year's budget with a $20 Sephora card. It's going places.
Yeah, dude. That's the NASA's just trying to get more money for funding. For show.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, I can imagine them going to like Congress, but Elon Musk has all the money. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it's 100%. I'm the people. Everybody's checking on what the scientists are doing. My big concern is that everybody's talking about because every year when something like weird with space happens. Like 10 to 15 years later, a documentary comes out about a cult that was like, yeah, we were going to kill ourselves during that thing.
Aliens.
So, yeah, I hope, like the FBI doesn't do much. Hopefully they're tracking the sales of matching Nike shoes sent in large numbers to some place.
They really need to be tracking those Lil Nas X Nike shoes with the blood in them.
Yeah, and track suits. Matching track suits with custom embroidery and the Little Nas X Satan Nikes.
Now I'm confused. I don't know if you're talking about scientists or what the Russians are going to do next.
Yeah, dude. I'm always worried about what the cults are doing. Whenever these end up, I'm like, shit. There's going to be like a group of 50 people who are like, we're going to finally meet God.
Well, you only meet the God after I break knees and get payment.
Yeah. I got paid so many rubles to execute the mass people.
Drink punch quickly. Just like it's gonna be interesting. Now that you bring that up is so funny because I feel like there's always one or two you're going to inevitably hear about where there's just been a catastrophe that happened there.
Dude, there's going to be a house somewhere in Texas. It's going to be at the old place of Waco.
Oh, God.
Waco's at it again.
It's like they're fucking, what are those monuments of Monte Picchu or something? It's like, they're holy grounds.
Yeah, so they're just going to go there with a big old banner that says, fuck the ATF.
Dude, oh, man. Speaking of which, though, it makes me wonder because I don't know if he was a cult person, but he always hearkened, it's the end of the world, and he's done it since the late 90s.
Okay.
Like there's a guy.
Who has?
And that's how I can't remember his name. But he did it for the Y2K. He did it for like September 11th when that happened. He
George W. Bush?
I mean, I could see how one could connect those dots.
All my computer games are going to all my progress on Oregon Trail is going to go away in Y2K.
Oh, no. I've almost won solitaire.
I was so close to getting a high score on the pinball game.
Right when it turned midnight, I hit a mine, and it ruined Minesweeper level 2.
Yeah. Mr. President. Yeah, on September 11th, he was actually like, I'm just glad Y2K didn't happen. I didn't get dysentery on the Oregon Trail, thank God.
Now, kids. Yeah, exactly. He's like, now, kids.
Now let me read you this book.
About Daniel Tiger.
Nothing possibly ever bad could happen to the U.S. if we avoided Y2K. Don't tell me my save state got erased.
I'm sorry, I got some disturbing news. Kids, what page were we on?
Yeah. That's fucking wild, dude. Yeah. It's gonna... Who was the guy who you don't remember who it was?
I'm not
It's this
remembering
guy
who it
always
was,
called-
but he was huge in like the 2000s. But he constantly does it. He just puts up a website like, oh, this is now the end of the world, and he's constantly pushing the end of the world, end of the world,
Yeah.
end of the world, and every solar eclipse without fail is the end of the world. And they're like, oh no, I guess God had to go see another immaculate birth, or he gives off some bullshit excuse.
Right. Well, I mean, eventually he'll be right, I guess. I guess he's just always betting. I mean, I keep betting on the New York Knicks to win the NBA title, but it's not working out. But
When that happens, I think you have the best bet of predicting the end of the world, because when that happens, we're fucked. What do you?
That's when the end of the world will happen. Knicks buzzer beater 3 to win it, and it's like, and the Knicks are now.
Yeah, exactly. It's either the Knicks or the Jets. It's one of the two. The Jets are like Seattle against whatever team they are. They're on the 1 yard line and they're about to hike the play and the world blows up.
Yeah, Joe Namath needs to die.
Well, that'll be the end of the world then. When they get
that's
a
when
chance
Satan will rise.
as Joe Namath.
If once Joe Namath dies, everybody be like, just start maxing out credit cards and stuff, because the Jets are making it to the Super Bowl and the world's about to end. Satan's going all in once Joe hits the fire.
If Aaron Rodgers is healthy all season, all hell's breaking loose.
Man, I was hoping he was gonna be a vice president to fucking RFK.
Can he
That
still
would've
be?
been-
That'd be awesome. Oh no, he had somebody
RFK picked
else.
somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would, like, when that was a rumor flying around, I was like, let's go. Let's just make this circus. Let's just make this
complete.
kangaroo court happen, dude. Like, let's fucking go.
I've never seen a movie so stupid, and I'm like, no way. Yet it predicted the future as Idiocracy.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, Mike Judge, dude. He's a genius. Watch King of the Hill. He predicts a lot of shit in that too.
Yeah, it's wild that happens.
Yeah, honestly, side note, just real quick, I like to praise Mike Judge when I can. King of the Hill is one of the best written TV shows of all time, just for the sheer fact that Hank Hill is supposed to be, like, portrayed as this moral, very outstanding citizen. He's always trying to do the right thing.
He's trying
right?
to sell propane.
Right, but he is a giant piece of shit.
Yes.
Because he's literally just always trying to get out of like whatever horrible scenario he's put himself in. He's really a giant piece of shit.
Dude,
He's
when
not a
he
good
was
dude.
in Beavis and Butthead, even though he had a different name, same exact voice, same thing. He was trying to escape his wife. Every time you saw him, he was always outside by himself. He was trying to get away. Peggy's annoying.
One time, Bill steals the tank from the government because he's an army barber, and then Hank is trying to drive it back to the army base. He's stealing government property. like everything about those guys is dude, they try to pin it on all these other guys, but in reality, he's just a piece of shit with his friends.
Yes. They're
It's
just
so funny.
degenerates. It's great. That's why I love
But it's
Beavis
great
and
writing
Butthead.
but it's great writing in the fact that you are kind of blinded somehow, like, that he's not a piece of shit. But then as you keep thinking about the show, you go, no, he's a giant piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. So is Peggy.
Oh, Peggy's the worst.
I can't. It drives me up the fucking wall.
No, she's actually she could actually be negligent though. Like, she's just she's the worst person from being stupid. Like, I've never met. It's like, yeah, I've met Peggy Hill.
Yes, you have.
I jumped
Yes,
into
you-
a fucking. I jumped into an episode like, oh, fucking fight this bitch. So yeah, no, she's the worst. She's absolutely the worst.
But no,
Anyway.
yeah, Judge has
Sorry
made
for that
some.
sidebar.
Yeah,
I
no.
always get fired up about King of the Hill.
Such a
It
good
is
show.
true though. The your Idiocracy is 100% just feels way too real.
It really does. I'm just waiting for some idiot to start watering plants with Gatorade.
Right. Well, as soon as they started talking about like a couple years ago, or like when they were like, The Rock should run for president. It's like
Macho
stop.
Camacho.
Yeah. Fucking guys. There's nobody looking around here.
Hello, mirror. How are you?
Putin, you want to go one-on-one with the great one? Like, what the? No, we're not doing
No,
this.
it doesn't matter. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh no, not again, President.
Where are you invading? Ukraine. It doesn't matter where you invade.
When we drop the people's bombs.
Oh, gee. That's the worst part is the military is going to have a fucking field day if they ever let a WWE person
Fuck,
in there.
dude, they don't need those plants, those women in there acting like, oh, you should join us anymore. They don't need those because now they have, oh, dude, we're going to drop the stunner on you guys. It's just
Yeah.
a fucking
Oh,
500
my God.
kilogram bomb.
It's just Paul Heyman and Triple H and Shawn Michaels being the head writers for the U.S.
If we get hit, they bring in The Undertaker.
World War III has got to be the biggest, baddest war there's ever been. We're fantasy booking this one.
Let's okay. We got to bring it all to a head with the American Dream. Okay.
Yeah. Dusty Rhodes. They resurrect Dusty.
We will finish this story.
Oh man, God, America, please just fucking. I know I'm a child and and I act like a child, and I'm gonna watch WrestleMania
Dude,
this week.
can you imagine us dropping a bomb, but instead of you just hear now, you just hear, I am a real as it gets closer. You're like, oh fuck!
Yeah, right when it's about. Oh, dude, I can't. I want the one that you said right. Right when it's dropping, you just hear it whistling, and on the way, you're like, "What's that noise?" Yeah, dig it! Boom!
Our tanks roll up to that Batista like fucking machine gun shit going on.
It's just Batista in the front line. You're gonna give me what I want. Oh fuck, dude. You know, wrestling really has rotted our brains that we remember all this
fuck,
shit way
dude.
more than anything else.
Oh, who's your diplomatic relations person? Let me introduce you to the Big Boss Man. Just,
Yeah.
and his attendant, Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, and here's our UN representative, sexy boy. I ain't your boy, toy.
What do say? Put on a shirt.
Oh man, yeah, that's yeah. All I just want to say is, America, you need to grow up. We need to stop acting so childish.
Yeah, and that includes launching rockets, which is
Yeah.
fucking sweet. I'm not gonna lie, that's awesome. Be
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? We're gonna launch rockets into the sky during the day / night because it's an eclipse. How rad is that?
You know, I always think about this a lot. I really do, because
You love
nerds are the ones who have to figure out how things work, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, they're the ones who figured out that, like, combining certain things, they figured out how to make gunpowder and stuff, and they were just like, look at this, it blows up, isn't that neat? And then some, like, meat-headed dork like
Pyromaniac comes in. I'll push the button.
Right. Well, they were like, I think about when gunpowder was first invented, right?
Yeah.
So they were just like, oh, look at this. Like, it's just like you could start, they were probably like, you could just start fires really easy and, like, make campfires. And then somebody went in, hey, can we, like, somehow condense this and throw it at
No,
people?
what they did is they're like, hey, so that starts a fire real good, right? Yeah. Oh, I put it all in one barrel. Let's light everything on fire. Boom.
Yeah, it's always some fucking redneck. The shit that happens at high school parties is how every war thing evolved. It's just like, hey, dude, do you ever thought if we just throw this in this fire or something, it'll something cool happen?
It's so funny you say it because it's so true. You have smart people to create things, but you have to. It is integral. Wow, I just can't say that word. I'm just gonna give up. Integral. There we go.
Integral.
it is
inevitable.
No, it's integral. It's because they're very important. They're an integral piece
Yeah.
to that, and that is the dumb person that's going to do the thing that everybody's like, nobody should ever do this, and then there'll be one person that doesn't be like, I fixed it.
Yeah, look what I did it.
I did. What'd you do? I threw it at that guy. He's gone, but it works.
Yeah, that's how it always happens. Is like they don't. I feel like a lot of like inventors and people who discover things. I read a whole book about this, about how when they discover or invent things, a lot of times the initial purpose is never what it truly ends up being for.
So it's like the bluster cannons that the pirates used to have. You think about it, they didn't have lead balls, so they stuck fucking trash and metal in there, and it just sprayed that. And then eventually somebody's like, what if I just encase that into a little iron thing with a pull pin?
Right. Yeah, it's just well, not even that, dude. Like I wish I could remember all of the. I read this book where it was like 7 inventions that changed history.
Okay.
And it took you through the entire evolution of 7 different inventions. And the first one was ice.
Really, not fire.
Yeah, not fire, ice. Well, they did 7. It's not like the first one. Like
They didn't have an order. Okay.
No, it was just like so ice, right? Mm-hmm. And you realize like there was a whole trade about going down to like Antarctica or where frozen water was, bringing that back on giant ships to different places.
And they always sunk because they got so wet.
Yeah. And dude, so there was just like that trade, and then eventually because of like learning about how to cool things and keep them in storage, like like the refrigerator, which then led to fucking
Freon and shit, yeah.
Freon, and then led to air conditioning units, and like it just this whole timeline effect. Like the guy who was originally just sailing around the fucking 7 seas getting blocks of ice never thought about the fact that you could sit in a house at a completely cool temperature while it's 100 degrees outside, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like that evolution
and
is
I forgot
crazy.
all about those fridges because the first ones you had to put a block of ice in to keep everything cold.
Well, that was remember when we went to Milwaukee? That was how they kept their beer cold.
No, it was in that fucking cave.
It was in the cave, but they used to go out on Lake Michigan. Is that what the one that's by?
It's one of the Great Lakes.
One of the Great Lakes. But they'd go out and get blocks of ice out of the Great Lake and put it down in there.
Oh, okay.
And then it kept longer.
I thought they said it like the ground froze around there and it stayed cooler.
Well, there was that too, but then in the summer, that's
okay.
They were doing, not in the summer, but they were doing that. I remember them saying they were specifically bringing chunks of ice from the
Gotcha.
lake. So it's just, it's wild, like how innovation over that time just keeps changing. And
yeah,
there's just a ton of examples of inventions where they were, I built it to do this, and then somebody took the technology and was like, well, it's better applicated.
And that's another thing that a stupid person came up with an idea for good old just everything out there. Milwaukee's best, all the shit beer they make, plus the good ones, Miller and all that. Mm-hmm. But they went into a bomb shelter and went, hey, we could put beer in here.
It's fucking freezing in here.
You know what else is good freezing?
And the beer's warm outside. Wait, why are we keeping it outside?
We don't want to take up space in our bomb shelter.
Yeah. So it's just very I just think it's funny that the nerds, like, they created rockets, and there's no way at first when they created rockets they were like, we should use this to blow people up. They were just like, we want to fly. And then some military dude came by and was like, yeah, how can we manipulate this so we can blow people up?
Yeah. And now we have drones that do that, so you can sit in the comfort of your own home in that air conditioning and go, boom.
Yeah, it's just wild to me. What's really weird in the moral aspect of it, I guess, is some of those scientists, I'm sure, when they first came up or found out that technology, right, were approached like, you need to teach us how to do this because we're going to turn it into a weapon. They're like, I don't want you to use my tech as a weapon. Like, we're not doing.
And
I'm not doing this.
I hear what you're saying, but that's when BlackRock buys them.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Here's a picture of you sleeping with a whore. I've never been to a whorehouse. Yeah, it's called Photoshop, bitch. Like, we own you. Yeah. Now you don't even get the money we were gonna give you. Now we just own your ass.
And you're gonna work for free.
Yeah. Also, we need you to go to hang out with this guy named Jeffrey at his island for a little bit.
You'll have fun.
Yeah.
So
Just don't hang out with Diddy.
that guy's wild. He's a total wild card.
Yeah. Dude, I saw a clip the other day. I didn't know this. Have you ever seen the movie American Gangster?
With Denzel? Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy he plays is Frank
Caliendo. Yeah, he does a lot of voices.
Yeah. Denzel playing Frank Caliendo would fucking rule, though.
Yeah.
It's a weird method acting. But, like, what is I want to say Abagnale, but that's
I don't remember his last name. Yeah.
Frank Abagnale's from Catch Me If You Can. Anyway, the American Gangster character, so that's a real guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a real Diddy's dad used to hang around that guy.
Okay, checks notes. Yeah, checks out.
Yeah, no, so I didn't realize Diddy had that big a ties to, like, gangsters and shit, like real gangsters. Like, I knew, like, obviously he hung out with, like, people that you knew from Bad Boy and stuff, like those kind of guys. I didn't know he had, like, ties to, like, the mob, like, of New York City. That's wild.
That
like,
I mean, it makes sense. I didn't know that either.
Once you think about that, you're like, oh, these pieces fall together a little bit more. Not like the allegations of this, but just his connections he's always had.
Makes sense
That's
why he
when I'm
kept.
like,
That's why he made everybody sign away their masters at the beginning of their career. It checks out.
Yeah, for sure.
Wouldn't give them back.
Yeah. So I don't know. Anyway, weird aside the other day. Yeah. Well, what a weird episode.
Oh, it
this
really
eclipse is really warping.
Dude, you want to hear weird? You want to hear weird?
Hold on.
Okay, go.
Can we? I want to say one thing because you said it earlier that like the time it could be different and stuff. That's why I'm glad we're recording this because I want to figure like it would
for
be
posterity.
Cool. I want to write. I want to write something and put it somewhere and just like see if it's like if you're reading this. Like,
hell yes, dude.
See if it fucks with me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I want to find out if the world.
We'll just
changes.
put a hidden message in here. Be like, this is from the timeline of that. It'll be like the Terminator.
Right. Listen.
In the year 2024.
Chris Farley was supposed to voice Shrek, and then it became Mike Myers, okay? It never really was. You're seeing a version now where it is Chris Farley, but he never did it. He died before it happened. This is a different timeline.
Chris Farley was never Austin Powers. That was Mike Myers. It's the worlds have reversed.
That's how I'm telling if timelines are fucked up. Is Shrek changed? Is there a altered Shrek timeline?
We're just looking at those, just Mike Myers.
What do you mean Chevy Chase is in an I Married an Axe Murderer? What are you talking about?
No, you're watching Shrek, right? It's supposed to be Eddie Murphy, but that's Kevin Hart. What is going on?
What is going on? Huh? Kevin Hart. That's a boulder. That's a real nice boulder. What do you mean I'm supposed to have sex with a dragon? I can't have sex with that. How are you supposed to get it on with a dragon? You gotta have sex like this.
It's so funny how good it actually would work.
And all of a sudden, this dragon has touched my booty hole. I'm like, cut out, dragon. I'm not really into that kind of play. I didn't know I had such a good... It's not a good voice, but I have the good cadence.
Yeah. That's what's hidden. It works.
Cat Williams was Lord Farquaad. I'm gonna marry a princess, Pimpin.
It's all gonna work.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, is this the greatest kingdom of them all?
Oh, man.
Why are all these princess white women? I need to be in the Princess Frog, Pimpin.
Of course, Shrek's wearing a dress.
Oh man, we've done a really good job of recasting movies lately. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna double check that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's our posterity's sake message for ourselves when we listen back.
Yeah, exactly.
And that'll watch them we re-release Shrek. Oh shit.
Yeah, if we put this episode on YouTube, it's gonna freak people out. They'll be like, "What are these guys talking about? No, this is all accurate. Why are they acting like it didn't happen?"
Why is this name Mandela Effect?
God, it would be cool if like our podcast somehow we started being used as an example.
See, they were back in time when they recorded.
Hilarious.
Dude, I had the funniest thing said, not to me, just behind me, as a group of kids were running by. And this is one of those things that in my life, even if you were, it's something you'd lock away, and you're like, I'm never, ever saying that out loud. I will take this with me to my grave. And that is, guys, I'm not a furry anymore. I take it all back. I'm not. This was a fucking, like, 8th or 9th grader. Like, oh.
He saw the light, though. He walked out like Kevin McAllister in Home Alone. I'm not a furry anymore. You hear me?
Yeah, and then old Cloppity Clop came and stood in front of him.
Bum, 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 bum. Rainbow Dash walked over.
We're going to fix this real quick.
Oh man, he was just proclaiming that to all of his friends.
Yes,
where were you at?
I was just sitting.
I have to know the context.
I just
of,
showed
like,
up,
where.
and it's a bunch of kids waiting for their brothers or sisters to be done with track.
Where at school?
Yes.
Okay, so this is for picking up your daughter.
Yes.
I missed that part. Okay.
And I mean, just doing this. And then after that, I don't know what it was about. The same kids are like fighting or something. One's got the backpack, the classic. I'm like, I'm glad to see that move still exists, where you grab the handle and you start swinging around like you're in the middle of a wrestling ring and you can't figure out which rope to throw him to because you're just spinning.
Yeah.
And then he just lets go and this kid just eats shit.
Oh man, the furry kid?
Yeah.
Was that the furry kid? Oh.
The one that ate
Or
shit?
The ex-furry
Yes.
kid?
Yeah. Former furry.
Yeah, the former furry.
The FF.
I'm a recovering furry. I went to FA.
It's anonymous. I went to FA.
I used to suck on tails.
I was so addicted to Red Rockets, but now I'm away from that. It's all bad.
Yeah. What a weird thing to. I guess you know what though. That kid's more comfortable with himself in so many ways than I ever was as a kid.
Really? Now, if you said
no.
if you set this at a normal volume, I might be with you. But when you scream it, that I guarantee you could hear this from the 50-yard line. I don't think so.
Oh, so you think it's more of a, I'm not gay no more. I am delivered.
Yes. Yeah. He's that youth pastor or whoever that was.
You think he's going to relapse is what you're telling me?
Hard.
That wasn't.
Dude, capital all of it. Hard.
Yeah. There's not a conversion camp in the universe who can save that kid. I didn't realize that. I figured he was just being confident and just like proclaiming and just being like, you know what? I'm gonna let all the girls around here know I'm not into.
I would believe it if his
anymore.
I thought was friend didn't throw him on the ground.
I don't know. We all threw our friends on the ground
On
back then. That just means
cement?
you love them. Yeah, you know, teenage boys kind of show love like gang members do.
We got to jump you into
it. We got to jump you in. There's a lot of teasing. Like, the meaner you are, honestly, the more they kind of like not really, though. There's a difference.
True.
You can tell.
There is, but no, it's funny because I actually just told my daughter that not too long ago because she was talking about how there's kids bullying this other kid or whatever, and I go, well, it's different for guys. Our love language is abuse.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just making fun and cracking jokes at others' expense.
Right. Yeah. Well, and we're saying stuff that like we find funny about you to your face.
Yeah.
If we're never saying anything bad to you about like you to your face, it's like, oh, that's not good. They're saying some shit behind your back.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Hey, what? He's so nice to me all the time. Oh, you're not friends.
Yeah, you're not friends. Yeah. You're you never want to hear, oh, he's a nice guy. No, it's if you're actually friends, it's he's a good dude. Like it's good dude, not nice person. Like that's
the word
different,
nice, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's different.
There was some baby powder on the back of his hand when he said that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dudes, if they don't are like not really friends with you and stuff, we turn into women. Where it's like, yeah, you're fine, dude. Yeah, nice talking to you. God, fucking Steve sucks.
God, such a little bitch-made boy.
Why does he always bring a fucking vegetable tray to the fucking barbecue? Nobody's eating that shit.
Who told him you could invite a vegan to this barbecue? What the hell?
Yeah, and you give to be fair, we give dudes a fair shake. We really do. We give them like we try to do like the ribbing to see if they're, and then if they show any sign of bitch, then we're like, oh, you're not.
Oh, you
not
can't laugh. It's like, oh, you're done.
Yeah. Oh, are we talking serious? I can't take anything serious. You should never take anything out of my mouth at face value.
That is my favorite, is when you cut somebody and they say something like, that's a good one. But seriously, like, no, I'm serious. Like they have to double down and repeat it. You're like, oh, shit. Oh, damn, dude. Sorry.
Oh, you're actually you're saying real things? I've never said a real statement in my life.
Yeah. oh, shit. I am sorry. Your dad has cancer. Just like, damn.
Yeah, dude. It's we try. It is a completely different thing, and I don't know. It's funny because like I'm surprised your daughter hasn't picked up on that. It's like around our family, this is all we do.
She kind of does.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she does. I've heard her get some digs in now, and I'm just like, damn, that rules.
Yeah.
But like, you know,
sarcasm's great.
That's how like. How much we're still curving it because she is a teenage girl around her. Like, she still doesn't, like, when she's around Tia, like, wow, these guys are vicious. I was like, oh, no, we're all like that.
Yeah.
We have to knock it down a level or two. There's a reason we always hang out in the garage away from you.
Yeah. Censoring yourself is hard.
Yeah, if those fucking studs in that unfinished garage could talk.
You'd be spitting nails back in your face.
Yeah.
Dude. Also, before we get out of here, of course, we got to do the PI. And to keep it in terms with the lovely parents of the world, we have, I feel like, a very well thought out person that has a great personality, way of thinking. So, he's asking a great question. And that is, my 14-year-old son writes left-handed. How do I punish him? And I like to think that this person is thinking correctly. Okay?
They didn't Catholic schools used to like.
Yeah, they beat him with rulers until all of a sudden some hippy-dippy people, don't touch my kid and tell him how small or big their hands are with the measurement.
Yeah, it wasn't, but like I think that was a real thing. Is they used to beat the left-handed kids into writing right-handed.
Yeah, and it should be done. Just cattle prod them. That's what I suggest. Just
why? I don't think you need to punish him for that at all.
Why?
I don't know. It's fucking weird.
No son of mine's gonna be a left-handed freak.
No, you need to fucking get him in the batter's box. Start fucking hitting left-handed, dude. Like, fucking.
No.
I'm trying to figure out what's the problem here.
Left-handed people think weird. That's what.
Yeah. Aren't there a lot of studies about that too? As like if you're
thought process is different.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I
mean, you might as well be homeschooled at that point.
Well, you apparently think he needs to be punished. How are you going to punish him?
Cattle prod. Told you. Every time I see him right, just gah!
I think you need to just do the man in the iron mask technique and just put his left hand in an ironclad.
You got to treat him like he's the fucking hand model off Zoolander and just like lock that shit up.
Exactly, dude. Now he'll never be able to. His hand's going to be all atrophied and stuff. He can't even use it now.
Let me use my good hand.
Yeah, you could always just do the classic break his arm, dude. I guess. I don't know.
Like, I feel you on that. You could give him that alternative back. You either play baseball or I break your wrist. Like,
right. I mean, or he could become the greatest guitar player ever and become Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix was a left-handed guitar player.
Yeah, but we all saw what ended up happening to him, too, because he was left-handed.
Right.
Yeah.
Choked on his own vomit.
Yeah. That was his body revolting against
You know
him.
what I find weird about that, too? They say it's a left-handed guitarist, right?
Mhm.
I hate how they actually say like what's right-handed and left-handed. For
Because
guitar.
there's
It should-
obviously, they do that to delineate what's right and what's wrong.
I guess. But they say, oh, you're a left-handed guitarist because or right-handed guitarist because you pick with your right hand.
Yeah.
But I think you would say you're a left-handed because it's way harder to know where you're putting your
For
fingers.
the frets?
Yeah. So I think it should be the opposite.
I don't know. I don't think so.
You don't think? I think so. I think it's way harder to pluck a guitar, like to put your fingers in the proper place for fret. So like, wouldn't it? I guess I don't know. It's just like whatever naturally.
I
feels
get what
better,
you're
I guess, is
saying,
what
but
I
I feel
thought.
like I'm better at fine movements on my left than I am with my right.
Right. Well, I get that, and it. I just. To me, that just doesn't make sense, like stating it wise. I guess. I don't know.
So
I don't know.
was a lead singer of Drowning Pool a left-sided vocal cord guy or something? Since he went out
Is
with
that
the
why-
vomit
did
too.
he sing out his mouth? I don't.
Well, no, he
I
just
don't
died
get
of
any
vomit,
reference.
so I didn't know if that was the same. Like,
No.
is there a correlation to lefties?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, bud. I don't know. I'm gonna start calling people left-handed guitar. I'm gonna start flipping it on people just to fuck with them. Just like, what?
Well, you play with
You're
your
using your left hand to fucking.
you
the
finger the frets with your left, dude. That's what it
Right.
counts. And your guitar points to the left. What are you trying to say?
Yeah, dude.
I'm just fighting against the trend, dude.
My dad just used to beat me because I was left-handed writing, so I rebelled by playing guitar.
And I even got Hot Wheel tracks tattooed on my back.
Hot Wheels leading the way.
You know what else
You know
leads
where
away?
else is punninggame.com?
That's right. Check it out. Monday through Friday, we got the entire network there at your fingertips. Make sure to give it a gander. Also, give a look-see on youtube.com, Comic Wade Taylor. All one word, no spaces, Comic Wade Taylor. You can get clips of this show, Not Worth the Time. Clips of his stand-up. Make sure you watch all that stuff. Like and subscribe to get updated on everything posted by that man there. And then back on punninggame.com. Get some merch.
That's right, everybody. Go over to the Punning Game shop and get yourself some T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, all sorts of cool stuff to represent your favorite shows here at punninggame.com. So hop on over there, get yourself something cool, and don't forget to use promo code WGAF. That's promo code WGAF, and they get you free shipping at checkout. And the hoodies will protect you from the solar eclipse time shift.
Are you telling me you're no longer a furry, but you're left-handed? We're done. You get out. Peace.
Listen, I don't have a lot of time. The timeline's shifting right now, but you gotta get out of here.
Who is it?